Why does your silence resound more profoundly than another's loud outcry? Reflect for a moment on the last instance when you ceased to respond, halted mid-discussion, or quietly retreated from the clamor. Recall the sudden tension in the atmosphere, the rapid flurry of thoughts in another's eyes. Carl Jung grasped precisely why this occurs. He believed silence is not emptiness. It is a mirror that compels individuals to confront their fears, illusions, and unresolved narratives. Strip away the perpetual cycle of feedback they rely on, and they begin to fill the void with an incessant need to unravel a message you did not vocalize. Today, on the Deep Dive Psychology podcast, we explore how purposeful silence elevates you from background noise to focal point. Discover why withholding words can lead others to project their deepest anxieties onto your stillness, why the ego sees your calm as rejection and struggles to release it, and how a single deliberate pause can invert a power dynamic without you lifting a finger. If you have wondered why people pursue the emotionally elusive, replay conversations with the quiet, or feel unsettled when you remain silent, stay with me. Mastering deliberate silence is not manipulation or a game. It is reclaiming your energy and letting absence carry its own weight. Ready to let every unsent text, serene pause, and subtle departure convey immense meaning? Let us delve into this. Examine an average phone. The owner taps, swipes, and scrolls thousands of times each day. Every notification and seen receipt acts like mini validation, proof of relevance to another. We claim connection, yet beneath the glowing screen we run relentless experiments on our nervous system. Tap, dopamine, repeat. You might call this compulsion a distraction from the self. Our psyche learns early that seeking approval feels safer than authenticity, so we wear the persona Jung described, a facade built to win acceptance or at least some response. The mask grows heavy, yet we keep performing because silence, the possible void of feedback, feels like social oblivion. Our minds equate noise with value. Automatic replies, excessive sharing, and anxious check-ins are attempts to reassure ourselves of our place in someone else's world. Now imagine what happens when you withdraw that influence. You do not reply to the provoking post. You let a message sit in delivered status for hours. You sit across from someone and simply listen without hurried words. The validation engine screeches to a halt. On the other side, the person accustomed to your constant responses faces an unexpected void. Jungian thought holds that such vacancy forces the psyche inward, seeking meaning in your absence. It is uncomfortable. The mind searches memories and motives to explain your silence. An obsession takes root, born from dependency they never saw. Silence is not passive. It disrupts the reflex to appease, severs the feedback loop, and makes you scarce. Scarcity now breeds desire. In a world drowning in alerts, rarity is currency, stillness a precious commodity. This upheaval demands nothing of you. No arguments, no performances, only the strength to remain composed while the world rushes to fill the gap. Once you disrupt validation, your silence becomes a mirror, so stark it feels brutal. Without your usual cues, people project their shadow, the hidden fears and desires they deny. An unanswered text means you are angry or disappointed, though you might be enjoying calm. A colleague sees scrutiny where you offer quiet observation. A partner imagines fading affection where you simply rest. They replay past talks, scan your profile, reread messages. Each search for certainty gains no reply, so imagination amplifies the story. Obsession forms not from your actions, but from their renowned parts, lit by your stillness. Your task is to stay grounded, seeing projections as proof of your impact, not your worth. Think of the mind as a melody. Leave the final note unresolved and the tune loops for closure. This Zeigarnik effect keeps incomplete matters vivid. By refusing to finish the melody with explanations, you plant ambiguity. The mind dislikes gaps. It hums with unanswered questions, revisits words, drafts unsent replies at dawn, checks your activity, all to solve the puzzle your calm presence. Closure equals safety. Jung said the ego clings to predictable stories. Remove predictability and the ego flounders, devoting energy to deciphering you. Ambiguity needs no drama, only restraint. You are not confusing for amusement, you are declining to end the narrative for them. They could embrace uncertainty, yet most tug the lingering thread. You, hoping you close it. When silence persists past the usual pause, the ego stings. It whispers that you are ignoring them, that they must fix it. Rejection once meant expulsion from the tribe. So cortisol spikes. Dopamine follows, as the brain plots to regain your focus. Another message, a sudden joke, an updated photo. Your silence introduces scarcity that flips the switch labeled must obtain. Jung would note the ego cannot bear insignificance in another mind. It rehearses dialogues and narratives to avoid the deeper wound. Maybe I am not essential. Instead of sitting with discomfort, it doubles efforts to reclaim attention, proving your value with every attempt. Your absence becomes a beacon, highlighting ego fragility in the face of no predictable response. There comes a point where silence crystallizes into authority. Others grasp that you will not relieve their uncertainty, so they dwell in ambiguity or rise to match your calm. Jung called this reclaiming projected power. Energy conserved within creates resonance felt across rooms and screens. Watch behavior shift. Messages start short, testing limits, then lengthen with vulnerability. Praise grows sweeter, provocations bolder, each interaction weighed for meaning. Your unpredictability turns small exchanges into events. Predictability breeds stagnation. Unpredictability earns respect. Refusing the role of eager responder transforms dynamics. The ego that performed now lacks a partner and staggers in confusion. Your silence leads, setting tempo and timing. This is self-actualization, not theater. An integrated self stops dispersing energy into trivial chatter and channels it inward for clarity. Outwardly, it shows as composure. Inwardly as lucidity that attracts quality connections and deflects chaos. Healthy silence is intentional, aware, and rooted in self-regard. Passive aggression is a weaponized void, demanding mind reading. Jung warned that silent rebuke feeds the ego's hunger for covert control. Ask why words are withheld. If for reflection and thoughtful response, it is mindful silence. If to watch others squirm, it is the shadow using restraint to manipulate. Mindful silence feels spacious and calm. Passive aggression feels tight and anxious. Sometimes a brief boundary serves better. I need time to think. Will reply tomorrow. Clear silence honors both parties. Passive aggression shrouds resentment. When silence is free of spite, it becomes refuge, not weapon. It invites reflection, but does not coerce it. Purity of intent heightens its pull. People sense it guards integrity, not affection. Often those who took swift replies for granted return. Casual check-ins mask the push for closure against your calm. They come back because the unfinished narrative agitates their subconscious. Loose threads irritate like a lash in the eye. Your silence embodied that small unaddressed matter. Their curiosity is their journey. Your silence was meant to breathe, not to entangle. Whether to respond is your new choice. Weighed against the peace your quiet earned. Silence is condensed presence. Like a hall after the orchestra stops, tension remains. Not a void, but echoes inviting awareness. Each word you do speak gains weight. People lean in, sharpened by scarcity. Psychic energy realigns as potential. Potential is compelling, signaling depth. Your silence becomes the gong in a monastery. A single measured resonance reaches deeper than many small bells ringing at once. Trivial discourse yields to meaningful dialogue. Listeners forego small talk because your time is curated. They choose inquiry over assumption, substance over distraction, hoping to earn your next note. Presence in absence is the ultimate influence. You no longer chase visibility for validation. Others see you vividly in your absence. Your silence shapes the quality of every interaction within its gravity. Stop filling every gap and three forces align. First, Projection makes people face their shadows. Second, obsession repeats your unfinished narrative. Third, a power shift returns energy to you and makes rarity priceless. What we focus on feeds the psyche. Turn attention inward and you break the cycle of performing and overgiving. Some will call your stillness cold, yet they replay your absence seeking the resonance only you provide. Here is your challenge. Undertake a 48-hour response fast. Do not reply instantly. Do not add nervous fillers. Let each message breathe. Watch projection bloom. Observe your own mind settle. If this reflection struck a chord and you felt the power of your silence, declare, "I embrace powerful quiet." Subscribe for deeper psychological explorations that turn inner awareness into outward influence, and share this with those who talk without hearing themselves. Until next time, protect your energy because your silence speaks more profoundly than their chaos.